Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. Today I wanted to talk to you about something many of you probably have talked about a lot as you've come along. You've probably all felt similar to the way I've felt, and that is that you've asked yourself the question, why is nobody understand? Why does nobody get this Ripple thing? Why does nobody understand how XRP is going to be so huge? Why do none of my friends get it? Why is no one into this? Why are they not going crazy over it the way I am? That's kind of the question. I've been asking the same question for the last 4 years. But today I was on Reddit, the Ripple Reddit, and I saw this McKenna James 227 was kind of asking that question. They say here, in real life, no one I know has the slightest interest. When I try to talk it up, they just act like I'm crazy and tell me it's a pipe dream. And I think that that's a lot of what many of us have gotten over the last 4 years. And so I scrolled down through some of these comments, and it was all pretty standard. There was one person that had said, he said, I've been wearing my XRP, the standard t-shirt, for about 6 to 8 months, and now, and not one person has commented on it. Now, I'm here to tell you that this is great news. This is just how early we all are. It's amazing that so much of the population still does not get it, but they're going to get it when they're told to get it. And that's kind of what I've been saying all along. But I wanted to, from this thread, I wanted to highlight what one guy said in here that really rings true with me, and I think he hit right on it. His screen name on here is Rupert27, and he references, you might remember a while back I told you all that you needed to watch the movie The Big Short. It's about the handful of guys who bet correctly that the housing market in 2008 was going to collapse. And The Big Short, there's a guy in, Steve Carell plays a character that's based on Mark Baum, and he was one of the guys that couldn't believe that people did not understand that the housing market was about to collapse. And it was driving him crazy the same way that it's probably driving a lot of you crazy. You can't understand, how on earth can people not understand what we get about this XRP thing and how huge this is about to be? Well, this guy on the Reddit, on this Reddit here, Rupert27, I'm going to quote, first he says, I like the character Mark Baum's lines in The Big Short, and here's the quote from Mark Baum in the movie that he gives, and then I'm going to read to you the words of Rupert. Mark Baum in the movie, he says, you have no idea the crap, he says, have no idea the crap people are pulling, and the average person just walks around like they're GD in a GD Enya video. They're all getting screwed. Credit cards, payday lenders, car financing, fees, and more fees. And what do they care about? The ball game, or which actress went to rehab. And that is so true. Now, this is me talking now. That is so true of the world we live in. People are more fixated on things that do not matter, stupid things. But guess what? That's where our opportunity lies. It's great that they're so distracted by meaningless things like this. That's the greatest thing in the world. So I'm now going to quote Rupert. He followed that with his own words, I believe here. He says, this is 99.9% of people. They buy everything, hook, line, and sinker. Government, food, industry, healthcare system. They actually believe doctors work in their best interest in the best interest of their patients, just like they believe financial institutions work in their best interest. People rarely do their own research or even want to know the truth until it's too late. and I would agree with that more than just about anything he says here. People don't want to know the truth until it's too late. That's what I kind of believe about human nature. I think many people are afraid to see the truth. But then he says, this Rupert guy, he says, all that to say, be grateful that you did. It will pay off. And he's talking about that you recognized XRP and Ripple for what it is. And so to take this one step further, I wanted to I decided that I would go to Google Trends just to illustrate this. First I looked up XRP on Google Trends, and they rate how popular a search is based on a scale from 1 to 100. You'll see Ripple was about a 5 last October in 2017, and it maxed out at it as popular as you can get during that December run-up. And then it's, in this bear market, it's been down along here. Then the 7, 9, below 10 more or less on a scale of 1 to 100 of popularity. You'll notice that it spiked up when we went up 100% last week. It spiked up to about 23 out of 100 of popularity. Meanwhile, everybody's very concerned about what Kim Kardashian is doing. This is the 99.9% of the population. Looks like Kim Kardashian peaked out at 100 popularity right around the time that XRP was booming back in December, right after that. But during our XRP bear market, while we've been adding to our stacks, people have been very concerned. Here's a 61. They've been really focused on Kim Kardashian. I hope that really improves their families' lives over time, but I somehow don't think it's going to. Meanwhile, so the point here, though, is that while the world is fascinated by Kim Kardashian, you that are listening to this have been fascinated by something that's going to improve your lives, and that is called smart. Okay, I wanted to close out by talking about something. I was at my son's soccer game today, and I was sitting there, and this video came across. Now, this is a guy, I've watched a lot of his videos. His YouTube channel is called Crypto Bear. I didn't know his name until this was the first video I think that he's ever done where he actually spoke in the video. And it literally, I almost shed a tear when I listened to it, because his whole video he dedicated to me. It says, "To the digital asset investor, thank you." This guy literally proceeds to, in this video, describe, first of all, he says his name's Fritz. And this video, he goes into detail about how he was kind of shy and awkward about the idea of speaking on a YouTube channel, and because he wears braces and he thought that he would sound weird. But I think that from listening to what he said, he was thanking me for inspiring him to finally get the courage to speak and start doing his own channel. And he seemed to act like I gave him some confidence from listening to some of my videos, and maybe he was a little worried about being criticized and that type of thing. But he seemed like, and I think somewhere in there he mentioned that he did not necessarily have someone who taught him how to think confidently, and he did an entire video. I was dumbfounded that someone would be that nice to me and dedicate something like this to me. And so I want you to all go follow him, and then I'm going to leave him and you with a couple of quotes, because this really, I started this channel, I guess, 8 or 10 months ago, and I thought that I would have something to add because I had studied XRP and Ripple a lot. I did not plan, nor did I know that I would begin to add some of my life experiences and tell any stories about my family and all. And I can't tell you the number of people who have sent me emails and talked to me and told me how inspired they were. And so I think I've learned something from all this. I've learned that maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. Maybe it's for everybody, but I think people, maybe a lot of people have not had, I think I had a really good role model in my father growing up, and he taught me a lot of good lessons. And I think maybe that's one of the things, not to say that anybody who's listening does not have a good father, but maybe there's a lot of things that they never did hear about that I've been talking about to inspire. It was kind of a natural part of my growing up. But anyway, so it really impacted me to see Fritz on this crypto bear. He said he now has the courage to come out and talk, and he said that I inspired him to do so. So on that note, if I inspired him to do it, then the rest of you get off your butt. If you have a courage problem, follow Fritz, and I'm going to finish with two quotes. One of them is about criticism. This is from Aristotle. He said, criticism is something we can avoid easily by saying nothing, doing nothing, and being nothing. And that pretty much sums it up. So if you want to be anything, you're going to be criticized. I'm criticized every day on this channel. Every single day. I have some people who are some of the nastiest people you've ever heard in your life have called me every name you can think of. Do you think that bothers me? Not for a second, because I'm on a mission. Nobody's stopping the mission. And so there are a lot of people that have a lot of anger in them for various reasons, and it has nothing to do with me or you. So do your thing, and don't let the criticism of others affect you in any way. And the last thing I'm going to finish you with is a quote from Napoleon Hill. Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. And so this one's for you, Fritz. I am the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. And remember, everybody, Fritz's handle is Crypto Bear on YouTube, so go subscribe to his channel. Please subscribe and hit the like button, and go tell your friends and family about my channel, because I'm going to be here for a while, and we're going all the way to the moon. Thanks.